Hi, welcome to RGRP Rogue Roleplay. We have a little bit something different today. It's a different episode, different voice, different gay. So I, Jonathan, will be telling you guys a little bit about what's going on thus far. And this episode is called Tea Time. Did we like
with
that?
The gays.
Tea Time with the Gays.
Tea Time.
This is our episode of Tea Time with the Gays. To begin, let's all introduce ourselves. I'm Jonathan. I'm interim DM today, and I play Eve. What about you, Chris? Who are you today?
I'm Chris, and I'm going to play myself for once.
Oh, what is this? Witchcraft. Tisha?
This is great.
Oh, wait, no. Mark always goes last. Mark, what about you?
Doesn't Tisha go?
No, because we're switching up the order.
Oh.
New host, new
Jesus.
rules.
Okay. My name is Mark, and I play Hogum.
I'm Tisha, and I play Benny.
Okay, so with Tea Time, I have a few questions ready for you guys, just to discuss like what we've been doing so far. And so to begin with, this one's directly for you, Chris. Why did we choose the name Role Gay Roleplay?
You know, we landed on that one together. I think it was Tisha that came up with it, actually.
Tisha, was it you? I think it was.
Yeah.
Maybe. We were all throwing out different ideas.
We were riffing.
Okay, so Tisha's trying to be modest, but it was her.
It was. And like she said it, and we all just kind of stopped, and there was this moment of silence, and we just knew.
And we just knew. Does it have any meaning, or we just kind of like liked it? We were like, yes, queen, slay, honey.
I mean,
Your name, go for it.
No. It's free. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think that it's role playing, it's gay, and we're rolling. It's a play on words.
Oh, okay. So it's a what is a play on words called? A pun? Anyway. So yeah, that explains our role gay role play. The next question is for Christopher again.
Okay.
This one is, how did the group form?
Wow. So the group started in, this whole idea started in like November 2018. And I posted a couple Facebook posts, seeing if anyone would be interested in creating a non-heteronormative D&D podcast. And Jonathan and Tisha both commented on that, saying they were interested. And so did a few other people, and we did some test games, and Jonathan and Tisha were the clear... see, if I say it like that, it sounds like the other people sucked.
No, it's just like RuPaul's Drag Race, Shantae, you stay, like... That's
right, these are my all-stars.
Right.
We just meshed well together, and you could say it that way instead of...
Yes,
Yeah.
it was about... Yeah, this group dynamic was way too good to pass up.
I like that. I feel special. And let me tell you that every single time we would like talk about this and you were like, Jonathan, you were good. I was like, bitch, oh my God. Like, thank you. I tried so hard. So I was definitely feeling my oats. Tisha, how did you feel whenever he told you that you were going to be playing?
Oh, I was super excited. I figured I was probably the only girl that wanted to join, so I just assumed he didn't have a lot of options. I mean, unless he was going to do all dudes, and then that's fine, but...
No, I was really happy that a girl did comment on that, because you were only one of 3 people that were interested. And one of them even straight up told me, like, hey, I don't want to be on the podcast, but I'll help you DM. So, like, I have someone that's helping me. Like, I have a couple people that have just been, like, helping me with the story and, like, what the fuck saving throws are and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, you being a girl helped Tisha, don't get me wrong, but you were a ton of fun to play with the whole time.
Thank you.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that the first time I met you, Tisha, and we were playing, I thought I was annoying the fuck out of you, and I was like, let me shut up. So that was something that was...
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, I mean, I know that now. But, like, at the time, I was just like, Jonathan, don't be extra. Like, and I was still extra anyway. Also,
You were. I do remember that. I do remember that you were very extra, and I'm like, this is so fun.
moving on. Let's not make this about me. But we could easily. On to our other friends, not Christopher. But how have your characters grown in personality? Like we see Hogum, he begins as like introverted, smelly, and
Chewing on his toenails in the lobby
Oh,
of Marcus
God,
Flint's
Christ.
office.
so I mean, like Hogum, explain like what what plans do you see for your character, or what have you already seen for your character, as in like growth of personality?
What?
So I'm gonna go to Tisha and let her answer it. I'm gonna let her answer it first, and then I'll come back to you. So Tisha, how have you seen your character, your Benny, grow, like personality, like choices and things of that nature?
I think that my original idea of who Benny was has changed a lot since I first made her. Like, I wanted her to be completely I made her completely socially inept and like a super dependent kind of character that never spoke up for herself, kind of thing. Like, then that's just how I built her. Just she believes in conspiracy theories. I thought that was going to be a huge part of who she was, and it turns out that she's more of a I'd say backseat driver. Do you think that's
That's a
a
great
good way to
put it.
describe her?
That is going to be a great segue into my next question, but keep going, sis.
Yeah, so like she's kind of like a backseat driver where she knows what's going on, but wants to make everybody else like make the decisions, but make the decisions she wants them to make. So, yeah, I mean she's grown a lot in that way. And I think it's just because of the dynamic of the game of, playing with you guys. Mm-hmm. That's just who she kind of needed to be with two characters with such low intelligence. Sorry.
Okay, so drag me harder, sis. That's
But
fine.
yeah, no, she's still super in love with Eve, but I think that her and Hogum's relationship is maybe even stronger than her and Eve's. I don't know.
I honestly would agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm totally grown, in
Yeah.
a different way than I had originally made her.
I do believe that like the relationship between Eve and Benny is more like an idolization, less than a friendship. Because Eve, my character,
I would have thought the other way around.
you think? Well,
Yeah, I thought like Benny idolized.
no, that's what I'm
Eve.
saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, what?
Like that, you're wrong. No. So
Eve also idolizes Eve.
sorry.
Yeah.
But I definitely do believe that Eve keeps an air of like not professionalism, but like kind of like, you know how like celebrities keep that distance out of their personal life so that, like they seem so close, but they're still always so far away. And I think that's kind of like
That
what
separation.
it is. Yeah, that separation. I think that's the relationship between Eve and Benny, where like, yeah, we talk and everything, but like, girl, are we gonna kiki hee hee? No, that's not what I do. So
Eve is secretly lonely on the inside and cries. loudly.
so we'll get into that soon. But what about you, Mark? How do you see like your relationships with Eve and Benny? How do you see yourself like developing as a character? Explain.
So originally, this character was created by Chris and not me, which is kind of like an interesting twist in a way, because he made it and then I had to bring it to life. Which I don't know if I've done all that well, to be honest.
Oh my God! So first of all, your character is hilarious to begin with.
Oh, okay.
Okay, take a fucking compliment.
I have a hard time doing that.
Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going.
So, I mean, really with Hogum, I've just tried to make him, because I wanted him to be like a polar opposite of Eve in a way, because Eve is so high up in the clouds. Like, I wanted to have him, Hogum, down as far to earth as possible.
Like literally in the mud.
Yeah. And he enjoys it, damn it. And then, like, I would say probably the relationship between Hogum and Benny is kind of like that paternal, like, watch out for each other kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see your relationship with Eve?
Strenuous.
The shade is
No, not
real
really.
today, listeners. The shade is real.
That's the tea.
That was good.
So when it comes to Eve and Hogum, it's more or less like trepidatious, if that's the right word, kind of thing, because of the fact that Hogum just wants to kind of keep pulling Eve down from the clouds.
Oh, girl, it's
So
never
it's
going to
like
happen.
that's why a lot of times the intimidation would come out. I've been so happy that I've rolled good on those.
You've only beaten me like once, Queen. Calm down.
I think it was twice,
Okay.
actually.
And I've gotten my way like 80% of the time. So we're
Exactly.
like chill.
It's the small victories.
I would say that my character, Eve, Saint Eve of Laurent, is like as my okay. So he's fun. He's really like prude, highly full of himself. But these are like all like defense mechanisms because I don't want to spoil it, but like Eve's past is like kind of crazy, in which Eve was also kind of crazy. It's gonna be like really cute how I like intertwine all of this together as I develop my character more. I would say, and this is actually the next question, is like who is the true leader of the group? And I asked that question because Eve being the most full of himself and also assuming leadership roles, basically, like also low intellect, so doesn't really make the best decisions. Like, if we were to vote or like maybe plead our cases, who do we think is like the true leader of the group?
I think it can change at times.
And what do you mean by that? Like situationally, like sometimes different people have, or different characters have their strengths.
I think it's really whoever's making the most sense at that current time.
So you would say that there is no true Beyonce. That we're all Beyonce in our own way.
Sure.
What about you, Tisha?
I think that it is a combination of Hogum and Benny. I know that kind of sounds weird, but I think that sometimes Hogum has better capabilities in certain situations, like he was saying, than Benny does. But when it comes to, I have an idea, Benny kind of leads it a little bit, which I was not expecting at all, because I've been trying to make it Eve be the leader, like from the very beginning, because Eve is awesome, right?
Right.
We're just pandering to Eve, making him think he's the leader.
I was going to say, that's what I've literally been getting. Also because anytime I've been given the option of being the leader in this damn game, I always queen out and can't. So,
Oh yeah, that's true.
but like,
So
as
it's Eve's face on the building, but it's Benny and Hogum, making the calls.
I hear
Isn't
that.
that like a true leader?
Ooh, like the president doesn't do much, but like he's the face of the group
And the voice.
and the voice. Oh my god! And I am my
Unfortunately.
character's very eloquent, so I get that. So that's what okay. Moving on to our next question.
Well, Chris, I mean,
I'm sorry. No, thank you, Chris. So you are the fucking DM, and like, what
It
have
doesn't matter.
okay? What have you seen or noticed?
I think it's been interesting to see the leadership change because normally I look at it as like who's actually in front when the group walks into a room. Or like when you're approaching an enemy, who's the one that's like stepping up? Which typically it's Eve. It's not Eve's decisions typically. It's normally Eve walking. Like Eve does. But I think that Benny and Hogum think.
That's what I was. Oh, I'm glad that came through because that's exactly what we were. I think. Would y'all agree that? Would y'all agree with Chris on that?
yeah, you're right.
Okay. What were you saying, Chris?
No, I think that what Tisha pretty much said was the leader is between Benny and Hogum, but Eve is going to consistently believe that it's Eve.
Because she's full of herself, sis. Okay. On to our next question. So Eve is full of herself, thinks she's the leader. I would call Benny like the leader that could, but is like unsure of herself, but like clearly has like all of the skills and traits and attributes to be that, just either doesn't want it or doesn't know that she wants it. Specifically going into not personality, but like our physical characteristics, I made Eve based on myself, tall, black, beautiful, and like a Southern belle. That's also me. Like, Benny, how did you come up with like the visuals or the visual traits of your character?
The visual traits. I saw a picture of the Mulans, and I just kind of, I thought that they were gorgeous, and decided that that's what I wanted Benny to look like, because they're like more warrior looking, but still feminine. I don't know
And
how I came up with that, to be honest.
Do you see any of yourself in your character?
I do kind of try to avoid conflict, and will come up with a creative solution to a problem, like an altercation between people. Like when Hogum and Eve start like arguing, coming up with something in the middle to kind of stop the argument or stopping the argument altogether. I think that's maybe part of me, but Benny in herself, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't believe any conspiracy theories, and I don't particularly have like, anybody that I worship or idolize. So,
Okay.
and I mean, I'm not really super insecure like Benny is. So, I mean, I think it was just kind of a character that I created that maybe was a younger me, possibly.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. What about you, Mark? Do you see any of yourself in your character? Because your character is half orc, smells bad, and is very crass, to say the least. What about you?
Well, see, that's where the trouble of my character comes in, because Chris created the character initially.
Right.
I didn't give you much to go with.
I was like, but you've made it your own since then.
Yeah. I've tried.
So, okay, so if we say that your physical characteristics are completely opposite of who you actually are, then tell me about, like, personality-wise. Do you see yourself making choices that you yourself would do in real life, or do you see yourself handling situations as such?
Too many questions.
Okay, so...
Hey, so I did miss what you were saying, but okay, so Benny is short. I am short. So there is that.
Yes. Okay. For Mark, do
Like,
you
when it comes to physical characteristics, it's...
I mean, he's
there's-
asking if you got bad toenails, dude.
No, not really. I mean, I don't get, like, pedicures weekly or bi-weekly, but
I don't think any of
try
us
to
do.
take
Do
care
you,
of them.
Tisha?
No. No.
No, that's too much work, sis.
Right.
Okay, but okay. Are you tall, Mark? Because
I'm
you-
6 foot.
So your character's tall and you're tall. See, there we go. Like same thing.
Okay.
How do you
guess
connect to Hogum? Like, do you have any connection to him?
Right. I'm trying to like you because you make some wild ass decisions sometimes, like to drink, alcohol out of a bucket. I know you wouldn't do that, but like Hogum.
Yeah,
clearly,
really, I wouldn't do that.
Hogum has like a clear like wild side to him. I wanted to know how you came with these choices, or you just.
Well, I guess there was also what was it, the what was that characteristic trait thing?
What? For what?
Chaotic evil, that thing.
Oh, yes, he is chaotic evil.
Oh,
So
you
that's
are.
where that part came in. So it was really the choice upon the character sheet that I took to play into as the character.
Okay, girlfriend. If you're chaotic evil, you're not acting very evil.
Maybe
You
he's
have-
chaotic neutral.
I was like, because you've been I've been more evil than you, like in the story. So do your
Maybe
job
I
better.
need to be a little bit more bad.
Be more of a dick.
I mean, the chaotic is there for sure.
The chaotic is there, but
I mean,
like
he
you,
stole that potion, but then he did heal Eve with it. So
I was gonna say, like you've been like reason, like up there with like Tisha and like reason and logic, and not really like not really self-serving. Like you haven't been very self-serving in this game at all.
I guess I really haven't had the chance to.
Is it because
There
Tisha
hasn't
and
been
I?
very many opportunities. Because
Oh.
maybe Eve is stealing them all.
Well, I'm sorry. Do better. Have a brighter personality. Like what? Okay. Moving on before Mark starts trying to attack me. Let's
No.
get into the storyline, the meat and potatoes of this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, totes. And I might not ask all these questions. And here we go. Story so far. How did you decide the character actions of Marcus Flint and Loxif? This is for you, Chris. Like, how did you
Oh.
decide what they were going to do?
You got okay. So there's been a lot of rewriting and changing of the story as it's been progressing. So what was happening with Marcus and Loxif in the beginning changed about episode 5 or 6 for me. Just because of the way you guys were handling it, I totally changed paths.
I was going to say, how many written pages in your sketchbook have not been used?
Oh,
I
so
have
many.
one quick question: is Loxif, was he originally a bad guy?
Yes.
I knew
Oh,
it. Yes.
you okay, okay. Keep going, Chris, because we got to talk about that.
You know what it was is I can't remember whether this was during the podcast or when we were talking, but there was a point, Jonathan, where you said Loxif can't be bad, and I went, okay, change that.
Right, because you kept alluding to Loxif doing some shady ass shit, and I kept calling him out, and then all of a sudden you changed it, and I was like, oh wait, no, he can't be bad, and that's what happened. Okay, I'm here for this. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, basically, when I realized that Loxif wasn't going to be the bad guy, I just switched up who Loxif was working with and what was happening, and then it turned into Marcus, and Agador got involved, and yeah, I mean, I played off of you guys just as much as you're playing off of me.
And speaking of Agador, how did you come up with the name of of his shop? What was it called? Boobs and something?
Boobs and Dicks?
Yes.
That
How
was-
did
Dicks and boobs? I don't know.
It was, I think it was Boobs and Dicks, and it
Yeah.
was utterly improv. I came up with that when we were talking and playing.
Oh, okay, so you're just a child. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm here for this. Going back to Agador and his husband and Marcus Flint, is
Yeah.
Marcus like a lackey? Was he like actually a ringleader? Did you have him planned out for that? And what about Agador? What is wait, did we capture him?
You caused non-lethal damage. I really assumed you were going to kill him. However, no, you didn't. So, yeah, he's been captured in Loxapasm.
And was that your original intent?
I never know what you guys are going to do. I have no intent when it comes to fighting. You ended up hugging Marcus Flint, which, again, not my plan. But, so now he's alive. No, I was planning. I was assuming you guys were going to kill both of them. You didn't. My plan was for that fight when I had Loxif coming back in at that turn, and I was going to have him start fighting with you, but he walked into Eve hugging Marcus Flint, and I didn't think he would attack when y'all were spooning. So
Okay, so first of all, it was a tactical maneuver.
and it worked.
And it worked. So that leads into my next question. Still with Marcus Flint. Early on in the story, and Tisha won't let this die at all. In the trials,
room.
right? In the trials, Hogum was the only champion to turn purple.
Yes.
Now, Tisha, can you explain why this bothers you?
Because why? I mean, just why? That's why it bothers me, is because I thought it was a puzzle originally. So for the first, until we went into that room again later, but it bothered me for days. What the fuck is this puzzle that I can't figure out?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it bothered me. And I'm not sure if it even is a puzzle. And if it's not a puzzle, fuck you, Chris.
Does the purple allude to maybe the people possessed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 100% it does. Fuck me. It's not a puzzle.
God damn it. So when did he get possessed? Explain it. Explain
Okay.
it.
So
Okay, thank you.
here's what. Yeah. So the three people in masks, which you've now learned to be Flint, Agador, Laney. The intent was to enchant the three of you. The intent was to take over all of you. You guys haven't determined why it didn't work yet. But what happened is only Hogum was the one that became enchanted. But since you guys were let go, you were able to go back to the guild. The guild was able to heal Hogum, and you guys were able to continue on. And that's why the group after you never made it out, because they did end up in the same room. They did end up enchanted. So the purple was bad. The green was good.
Oh, and see, the whole time I was like, well, purple seems like a secondary good color. I had Benny say that.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
And and
it was so wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't a puzzle. I mean, I know that I've thrown puzzles.
So did it happen on the podiums that we were standing on?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were trying to enchant all of us at that point.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And it was Agador who got Hogum, and it was the other two that just didn't get either one of you.
So you rolled for that?
I knew ahead of time. I didn't roll. I knew what I was doing with the story. It was intentional. I mean, I guess this is insider information. So the initial intent behind this is that the trials were going to continue. You guys were going to make it to the finals of the trials. Hogum was not intended to be a character in the podcast. It was a throwaway character. So Hogum was intended to sabotage the finals and attack you guys at the end.
Oh.
But after the trials, we were 3 episodes in, and we all loved Hogum. And Mark and I had a talk, and we decided we're not going to get rid of Hogum, and I had to rewrite from there.
Oh my God. So Mark, you're not even supposed to be here?
Well, there was a different character in mind.
Oh, it's a happy miracle.
I mean, I'm happy for this. I'm glad that Mark has stayed, because I do believe that Mark has been hilarious the entire time.
It's also the whole fiasco with...
the other players.
Yes. We didn't know who was going to stay, who was going to go.
because we
So, yeah.
had like 2 other people that
Right.
played with us at one point and then kind of flaked, or had other obligations or couldn't play.
Or
No,
couldn't
they
play.
flaked.
Oh no, we are not here.
I'm sorry. I did not mean it to be like rude in any way.
No, Mark did,
I
though.
don't think that's rude.
No,
Okay.
Mark is feeling his vindictive self.
I don't think I'm vindictive.
No, they flaked. Okay, Queen, bye. Moving on to this part.
Well,
So-
wait, really quick. Tisha, are we good about the room now?
I mean, so it was literally just a tool for you to kill Hogum off or get him out of the game.
Right.
Actually,
And you let us walk around on different podiums, hug each other, like do all kinds of crazy stuff trying to figure out that damn room.
I literally had to hug Hogum. Oh my god, I had to touch that beast.
Yeah, it was, I mean,
Hogum also knew.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it
damn it.
like this.
I did.
First of all,
I promise
that's-
here on out, there's no secrets that Mark knows that you guys don't. That was the one that I had planned, and
to kill him off.
yeah. But I mean, because Mark was also building a gnome, there was a character that he might turn into. But I mean, it's Hogum now. Like,
Yeah, it is Hogum McGoggle.
right?
Muggle.
McGonagall.
McGonagall.
Jink. So I will say 2 things. Number 1, didn't know you were a sadist because you just let Tisha suffer for months.
I mean, how long has it been since we
Months.
played that episode?
Months, Queen.
Oh my
like
god.
That was episode 1 or
That was,
that was
episode one.
It was
That was
one.
episode
Oh,
1.
It was one.
So it's been months, Queen.
It's been months.
And number 2, it wasn't an entire setup to kill off Hogum. It was an entire setup to piss off Benny. So
Yeah, Benny is so I'm upset, but it's not something like I didn't have an answer. I wasn't like killing myself over it, but Benny was. Benny has been struggling internally for quite some time
she's
about that
like,
damn room. Like, how did he get? What's the purple? I think Benny still thinks purple is a good color.
Probably.
Yeah, for
Well-
sure. Yeah, purple is oh my gosh, I just said it. Purple is a secondary positive color.
yes.
yes.
So, real talk, now that Benny has been sated and her curiosity has been
Okay.
answered,
Hold on.
She can now-
Let me say one more thing. I'm sorry. Me as Tisha, I'm not happy with the answer. It was not satisfying in any way. I really wanted there to be a different reason. Like, I don't know. I'm not satisfied, but there's that.
bless you. We're going to move on okay, so Eve has fucked up the story quite often because he decides that he wants to take people with him. We've all kind of fucked up the story in our own way. And by fucked up the story, I mean like we've drastically changed it. Can you tell us, Chris, when was like the most like pivotal or most important time that we just like completely derailed everything? What was like the most famous one?
Oh man. There's quite a few. Like, so the taking people with you is it's always just like you're coming too. You're coming too.
You can
when
just
you
expect that for the rest of the game.
When you took Agador from Boobs and Dicks, and Benny decided to kiss Marcus, but you were taking Agador back to the church where the Celestine was, where Loxif was, I was in my head going, fuck, I have to be Loxif, Agador, Marcus, Celestine, and somehow keep that together. Especially when I had the final fight, the fight with Agador and And Marcus, I had that happening at Boobs and Dicks, and you all ran away from it.
Where did it end up happening, actually? I don't
We
even
got
remember.
back there. We got back there.
We
I
did
had
get back
figure
to
out a
Boobs and
way.
Dicks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about Marie?
Yeah, what is-
Marie, I love Marie.
does she actually? Did we like not ask the right questions? Could we have taken her with us? Could she have fought with us?
Can you not take her with you?
Oh, God. That's like the best voice ever. I love her.
She's not gone. She's
Oh,
she's
fabulous.
hanging
She
out.
owns Boobs and Dicks now.
She is gonna own Boobs and Dicks now. Yeah, she's got boobs and dicks and buckets and baskets.
Buckets and baskets.
Oh.
Two more questions, and here's like this is the last question before the end. This is our bonus question. How many times did we have to redo an episode because we were too drunk?
So
I think
without naming the episodes, just in case it's super obvious, let's not make it too obvious.
Oh.
I think it's been twice,
We definitely redid the first one, right?
3 times. We redid the first one, which is why that room bothered you so much twice.
Yeah. Because I
And
got
then
a second crack at it. I still couldn't figure out the damn riddle.
Right. 'Cause there was no
Which-
riddle. Sorry.
Plot twist.
I'm not sorry. It was a good room.
I don't even really remember playing the first game the first time, to be honest.
Did we redo that because we were drunk, or what was the reason?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, we did.
Just checking.
I know I was wasted. Has anyone like started drinking less because we're doing the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
I've only had one beer so far, and it's been like an hour.
Same.
And finally, final question for the evening, afternoon, girl. It's early. What can our listeners expect from the storyline or from our characters in the future? Like, what do you have any good? Oh wait, I guess I can't ask that question. How do we want to end this podcast?
I can do it very vague.
Okay. So, Christopher, what can our listeners expect from us and expect from the story in the future?
Well, we're obviously still on the trail of Mayak and of Lainey because Lainey has not been captured. Maureen is still under his spell, Purple Eyes. But you're on his trail, so we're going to be following that arc. I know we have the Halo now, so returning the Halo to the First Church seems to be on Eve's list.
Yes.
Ooh, spoiler, the name is Maureen. I don't think I knew that.
Oh, maybe we did, but you were just drunk.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Locksmith gave you the dossier. Locksmith gave you the names.
But I never actually like opened it up until it was like you were like, well, you never opened it up to look and see. Like when I was like, is this the same person on the dossier? And you're like, well, open up the dossier. Like,
I think that's been my favorite thing about playing with you guys is that there's always this assumed action and I just wait for it.
yeah, or like we never loot anybody.
No, you guys have left behind some stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Or we've taken them with us, which means we can't steal from them.
Right.
Well, I
Or-
mean, I
Wait,
see
you
why
looted the
Eve
person.
wouldn't. I see why Eve wouldn't loot people, but we did loot one dead guy. Hogum did.
Yeah, Hogan did behind my back, fucker.
No, that was a box.
No, okay. So you
No.
opened the box, but you also looted because that's where you got the halo.
Oh yeah, that purple-eyed person.
Yeah,
right.
the
The
purple-eyed
one that
person.
stabbed himself in the throat.
His own.
Yeah.
Could we have prevented that?
Oh, well, okay, so other fun fact. So you know how they were being controlled. So Agador, Laney, and Flint, they all had control over one person. So the one that stabbed himself was under Marcus's control.
Oh, that
Okay.
asshole.
So it was the way I thought of Marcus handling it is he panicked and just
Okay.
did a sacrifice, whereas Agador was there going, okay, we could have escaped, but you did that. Cool.
So what you're saying is they can only possess 1%.
Yes.
Ooh, this is good to know. Okay, and like, also another spoiler alert: Eve is going to die soon, guys. So
No.
I don't. You know, like, it just has to happen. I think that he has served his purpose.
So that means that Jonathan, you and I need to do Eve and Benny's backstory at some point.
Well, yeah, before I die.
I don't know. What do you think? Before you die or after? I mean, I would prefer, I love Eve. I think Eve is such an awesome character, but I can't wait to see what you do with the next one.
Well, this was
because you are really great at this.
That was a fake spoiler alert, Eve.
I was gonna say there's
you had
bringing
me like
Eve back at some
crying.
point. I was surprised.
No. That was a fake spoiler alert.
I was crying inside and trying to be strong for everybody else.
My head went through storylines right away when you said that. I was like, oh fuck, hold on.
Well, I'm gonna end this little nugget right here, of nugget of knowledge right here. So I'm Jonathan. I play Eve, and you can find me on Instagram at JE_Washington.
Oh my god, what's the order now?
Chris, you're next.
Okay. It's me. I'm Chris. You can find me at Chris the DM on Twitter, and you can find the podcast at Roll Gay Roleplay.
Mark.
I'm Mark. I play Hogum, and you can find him on Twitter at Hogum. Magogo.
Yeah.
I'm Tisha. You can find me on Instagram at @Tish1.
All right. Thank you for listening to our tea time with Tati. You guys have a good time. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.